What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of Sundays with Strika. I'm your host, Laika Abibi, aka Strika, and we're back with another one on a beautiful Sunday morning here, live from my bedroom in Greenville, North Carolina. But anyway, it's been a crazy week, another week of finding new perspective on things and some big news on the high school sports front, of course. Significant news, of course, as Governor Roy Cooper announced that he would be reopening schools under the Plan B, which was some virtual and some in person. I think it was 50% capacity. But that news is significant to sports because in coinciding with that move, the North Carolina High School Athletic Association announced that fall sports would be postponed until at least September 1st, which eliminates a lot of regular season games for every NCHSAA member school. And I believe there were 500 of those, I think. But anyway, that news is so significant because now we're into the point where sports are going to get delayed sports are delayed, but we're now to a point where it is going to cut into regular season games. And I was talking with student athletes and coaches about this week, and I know there are kids out there that are trying to get the attention of college coaches, and there are big games on their schedules where college coaches will come watch the team play, another team play. So if a kid plays well, then it would help them get recruited, So talking with student athletes and coaches this week about this, it's been a whirlwind for them. I know there are a lot of counties in my area that have resumed workouts. I know some are going on dead period this week, but I know Pitt and Beaufort County have been doing workouts, if I'm correct. I have to double check that, but I know Pitt, Beaufort, and Greene County as well have also been doing workouts. So it's just a crazy time, huh? I mean, Roy Cooper's decision was going to pretty much decide the fate of fall sports, at least for the right now. We don't know for the long term because you never know; it could get extended again, and that would be my best bet if it were up to me. Now, I've been very vocal on this, saying that maybe they should hold off on this, but there's been some crazy debates. I know my good friend Kai Jones, who I co-host a podcast with. I'm sure you heard of the Just Like Brothers podcast on WJG Sports, but he put up a poll saying, would you sign a COVID-19 waiver to pretty much say, hey, your kid can play sports, but we are not responsible for any health issues or liabilities, you know what I mean? And that's actually a good question. So right now, at least from what I saw in the poll this morning, I don't know how many votes it had, but it was about 80-20 yes versus no. Parents would sign the waiver. And of course, as a side note, that's a good thing about Twitter polls, is that it's anonymous, so nobody knows who's saying yes or no. So, but there's going to be debates like that throughout the next several months of do parents want their kids to play sports knowing that there's a global pandemic that we're still fighting, and it could affect them, because it does affect everybody. Don't let the numbers fool you. People of all ages get affected by this. So that's if you contract it. But it's really crazy how far we've come over the last several months. I mean, it's at first you got the basketball state championships, which are so exciting that in my opinion, I think they could have gotten that off. But they made the tough choice to postpone at the time that and spring sports. And then they decided to cancel both the basketball state championships and spring sports. Then they started to cancel workouts. They said, okay, now you can do work. If you want to do workouts, you can. If you don't, that's fine too. Now we're at, well, now school is in flux, and now fall sports are in flux. So it's been a whirlwind for coaches, parents, students. For fans, of course, for people in the sports media who've had to adapt and write news stories for a very small paycheck, and that includes myself. But either way, the Plan B choice, which I'm not really sure about. In my opinion, I feel like the decision was too indecisive. It was not like Plan A and Plan C would have been definitive answers. Plan B was kind of a okay. It was like reluctantly pressing a button, and it ended up being the wrong button. Just as an example, but it's just, I don't know. It's truly crazy how far we've come over the last few months with what COVID-19 is doing, and of course, it's still ravaging the state. I feel like, even though the decision from Cooper was indecisive, I feel like North Carolina has done its best, but still, it hasn't been enough because cases are spiking, not just here but everywhere, it seems. And if we like we've said many times before, it's just crazy, and who knows what could come of it, and who knows what's next. But at least for now, we know that fall sports will not start until at least September 1st as of right now. And of course, Commissioner Q Tucker can make, like I said, she can make the choice to move it back. And right now, the things I do agree with when it comes to COVID-19 and having sports is that it is true. A lot of schools do make a lot of money, significant money from football season, especially. It's good to get money from other sports, but really, football is about, if I had to estimate, I would say 85 to 90% of schools really depend on football season to be their big financial moneymaker, because everybody loves their football, not just in this state, but around the country. Everybody loves the game of football, and I do too. It's just I don't know what we've done to deserve fall sports, or just trying to have it. Have we done enough to say, hey, we can reopen and have sports and have all this stuff? No, I don't think so. And either way, the choice was indecisive, and now it makes fall sports look like it's going to be indecisive on if that's even going to happen. And who knows at this point, because everything is one nice back pedal, making a jump shot and getting back on defense, just a little back pedal. That's what it's been right now. But it's a subject that's gonna have so many differing opinions, and I respect the opinions of those who disagree with everything I just said. But and that's for everything, every topic I said. But I know this one is kind of touchy-feely for a lot of people because people love their sports, and it's true. I'm one who does too. It's just, are we sure this is going to be safe, and will there be precautions taken for kids to be safe, for parents to be safe, for fans to be safe, for faculty to be safe? There's so many things that have to be done first before we can come together and say, all right, let's do this, let's have sports. And that's the thing that really, it really gets to me when people are talking about this. It's just, what have we done to put into place that we could have fall sports and it could be safe for everybody? So as of right now, I'm not sure, and it's really it's really up in the air. If I had to guess, it's going to get moved back a few times, and eventually there could be that final nail in the coffin. I don't want it to be that. I would love to be wrong, and I'd love for people to come back to this video and be like, Striker, you're an idiot. But it's just, I don't know, man. It just looks really, really bad right now. And we need to get out of this hole first before we can do anything sports related. But it is what it is at this point. There are a few other things I wanted to talk about. Speaking of COVID-19 in sports, I know many AAU organizations and travel ball organizations have been starting up tournaments around the country, from South Carolina, Georgia, all the way up to the Midwest. But it seems like everybody's up and running now. I mean, I know Big Shots has run 2 events now. Phenom Hoop Report should be starting up next week, if I'm correct. I don't remember if that's right or not. But it seems like they have kind of a way to like safely get people in and out of the gym in a timely manner. Having requirements and stuff, temp checks, and all this other good stuff. I mean, it seems like it's safe. It's just kind of like, I'm not sure if if the kids are happy and they're out there hooping and they're doing what they love, that's great. It's just, is there going to be one thing that sets it all off that has to close up everything? And it's not just for travel ball organizations, just for everything. It's for like everybody that's opening a gym, or like just, something, things of that nature, like schools doing workouts, travel ball organizations starting up events. It's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's like, well, they're trying to make things as safe as they possibly can, which is good. And that's the number one thing right now, is like, are there measures they're taking to where it's safe? But they're like independently run organizations, which is the difference between NCHSAA and like other independent travel ball organizations. It's kind of like, one is like a governing body, and two, they got a little more control over what they can do, depending on certain orders and stuff. But really just a kind of a weird thing seeing AAU events start this late. Of course, with the NCAA saying no live periods until September, I think is when they last updated it. They said nothing until September. They're trying to put things into place where coaches can watch, and Baller TV seems like a viable option, but at the same time, it's kind of been fumbling the bag this weekend. I don't know what it is, but I went over, Big Shots put up a Boxcast link, and that seems to be working cool. I mean, it's still been good to see some of the kids go out there and hoop. Of course, there are a lot of people whose recruitment is still going up even in this pandemic, and it's good that kids are getting their names out there and stuff like that. And but at the same time, I'm not sure like what will be the thing that sets off a reaction that could potentially become bad for organizations that are trying to run events during a crazy time like this. But real talk, it's not my decision to do that. It's up to them, and if they feel it's necessary and safe, and if it feels like it's going to help the kids get recruited, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Excuse me. I really just, I'm not sure. It's just weird, because at the same time, I was thinking about going to South Carolina myself. And then I thought about it for a little bit, and I was just like, you know what? Maybe just a live stream's for me. But it seems like everybody's having a good time in South Carolina, and it's been cool the last few weeks. I know Atlanta's had some great ball as well. I've been watching SUV TV free live YouTube streams. That they've been great. Baller TV, although it's kind of fumbled this week, it's been all right. It's been good. I know Phenom and Hoop State are going to be running live streams too. So it's kind of a weird time to start AAU events back up, but since things are in place for them to do so, they're starting back up. And of course, nothing's going to happen in North Carolina until Cooper announces Phase 3, which at this point I'm not sure when that's coming. All I know is that we're in Phase 2 until August 7th, which already has moved back a few North Carolina events for the Big Shot circuit. I don't know what Phenom's schedule's looking like, but they might have to do that too if they have anything in state over the next few weeks. But I know they're starting in South Carolina, so they'll be fine to get going. And I know I didn't just name. I know I named only Phenom and Big Shots, but there's like Prep Hoop Circuit. There's all this other stuff. I mean, it's just crazy seeing everything get started up at this time. But I mean, if it's up to, I mean, if it's all good with them, then I'll support all the kids that go out there and ball out. And it's not just basketball, but every sport. But since this is AAU basketball I'm talking about, like I'm all for the kids going out and hooping as long as they're safe and having fun. So it's a subject that I'm sure people who run those organizations have come together and said we need to have a plan in place to start these events up and get these kids seen and make sure that everybody walks in and out of the facility safe and sound and is healthy, and is wearing a mask and doing all the necessary things to make sure they try to combat the spread, even with trying to get back to a sense of normalcy. But that's a subject that I'm sure has been talked about a lot, and maybe that's just my 2 cents on it. I'm not sure. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was I recently put out my Pitt County all-area basketball squad. Obviously, it was like last week or so, but with everything that, like I said, with everything that happened with COVID-19, it took us some time to put the list together, and I got to thank my man Chris Decker, who helps me contribute at the Reflector and also does work with the Kinston Free Press as a freelance guy. Like he's kind of like me. But we came up together. We came up with a real good list. It was hard. I mean, when there are kids that have played so well that you had to leave off, it was just like, oh, I feel really bad. Like after you post something and you like, it might not be the right thing. But in the end, I mean, I feel like Farmville Central dominated the Player of the Year awards. I believe they swept Amaya Joyner, of course, whose recruitment is going through the roof now. She's picked up offers from ACC, Big 12 schools, SEC schools, all the Power Fives. Like they're starting to pick up her recruitment, and she was my Player of the Year for Pitt County, 2nd year in a row. I mean, like I've said on numerous occasions, she's a different animal. 6'2" forward who handles the ball and passes the ball like a guard, defends both ends of the floor, and now she's starting to shoot threes. It's getting scary. It's getting real scary. For my money, she's a 5-star prospect. I believe ESPN's Hoop Girls rankings list her as a 4-star, but she's a 5-star prospect in my book, and I'm sure a lot of other people's books too. But either way, she was so dominant. Of course, Farmville went on to become co-state champion, which will officially be their first state title in over a decade. A year after they fell just short, they came back this year ready and hungry, and you saw what they did. I think they won like 25 games again. I mean, it's just crazy, and they're gonna have a good chance to repeat next year too. because, all right, I can't say too much. Can't say too much, but yeah, with Mama coming back, even with whatever else Farmville's got, if they have Amaya Joyner, they will be state title contenders, and she will be the favorite to win Player of the Year again next year, probably. As long as nobody else like really goes crazy. But there are kids coming in that are gonna have crazy success immediately at other programs in Pitt County. So it's gonna be great next year as long as we get a full basketball season. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, Mama was my choice for Player of the Year on the girls' side. On the boys' side, another Farmville Central kid who deserves nothing but love and respect. Maybe the greatest to ever wear a Farmville uniform. I don't know. I mean, when you score 2,000 points and win 2 state titles and 100 wins in 4 years. I don't know what else. But there are a lot of accolades I could give Justin Wright. This kid's an absolute baller. As tough as nails. He wears the 252 on his sleeve. He comes in ready to work every day. And NC Central is getting an absolute dog. I mean, people know this already, but I just got to reiterate it again because he's there. Like, I ran out of words to describe how great this kid was over the 2 years I saw him play. So many huge games and big moments. Really just the absolute complete guard, could score the ball at will at all levels, passes the ball really well, finish in traffic like it's nobody's business, and is efficient while doing all of that. He takes some difficult shots throughout the game, and he'll make it easily. Like, I mean, there have been some legendary games. I know Samaj Teal and Terquavion Smith were first team all area as well. I mean, they this year they combined to shoot like 80% from the field in a game against Kinston, like at their place. You know how hard it is to shoot 80% just in a game and to do it at their place? And that's some legendary stuff, man. But they were a part of first team all area. Of course, Aaron Murphy, who was at J.H. Rose and is now transferring to Greenfield. He was also first team. If I recall, I also had Alkevion Waller as well. On the girls' side, I know I had Janiyah Foskey from Farmville, Jenna Wooten and Kyla Silver from Conley. It was a tough list to put together because that first team, all those kids are probably all going to be playing collegiately. I know Jenna definitely is. She's playing at Spartanburg Methodist, coached by former ECU coach Heather Macy. And I mean, it's just incredible to see what these kids have done this year. Of course, my coach of the year was also from Conley. Sean Moore led them they won 17 games in his first year as head coach. This year, they did not lose a game until the 4th round of the state playoffs. Won, I believe it was 29-1 this year. And then James Rankins from J.H. Rose on the boys' side. They were 3-20 the first year. I covered them. Came back this year, they got to the second round of the playoffs and won 23 games. So I don't think there's any question of those 4 choices. I mean, there were tough choices throughout, but it's hard to go against the 2 players of the year and 2 coaches of the years Chris and I came up with. But either way, it's been a crazy time. I know on a recruiting trail, multiple kids have committed recently. I know Nivea Caldwell and Mariah Frazier, who both play for Team Curry, both committed. Nivea's going to, I think, USC Upstate, which is right near Charlotte, like a good drive from Charlotte. Mariah, of course, goes to Ragsdale. She'll be going to App State, staying in state. It's a great pickup for them. Both 2021 prospects that are absolute ballers. Both score the ball at will. Both attack the basket well. Nivea's a knockdown shooter. So is Mariah. It's really good to see that they found places that fit, and I think both of those programs are getting 2 absolutely great basketball players. So And it's not just them. I mean, there's been multiple. I know, of course, recently Jonathan Kuminga also decided to go G League instead of college, which I actually kind of predicted. I was like, the first time I saw him play, I was just like, yeah, league him immediately. That kid he's that damn good. But really just, it's really been crazy on the recruiting trail as of late. And I know I'm going to be putting stuff up for prepgirlshoops.com, prepgirlshoopsnc. So you'll be getting a recruiting trail stuff from me soon. Trying to get some content up. Of course, you've seen all my videos from the dungeon. Shout out to the dungeon. Shout out to Coach Keith McLaughlin for being so open and inviting and allowing me to come and shoot out there. And we got some good stuff on the STRIKA'LITES YouTube channel. From that, we got the podcast that's going up soon. Of course, it'll be on Anchor and other podcasting platforms. And it's been a whirlwind, but we're going to get through this, hopefully. I know I'm not really one that, I'm not really one that has confidence, but I do believe we can get this done if we do things the right way. It's just about what are we all gonna do about it collectively as a group to get out of this on the other side. So other than that, kind of a sour note to end on, but this has been Sundays with Strika, episode 5. Of course, my name's Laika Abibi. You know where to find me on social media. It's on the screen. You'll see it. I think it'll be, I don't know where. It's in one of these 2 places. But other than that, I think that's it. And of course, anybody that wants to be a guest, hit me up. I'm free to talk as long as you're free to talk. So it doesn't matter who you are. If you like to be on the show, just hit me up, and we can definitely make that happen. But other than that, this has been Sundays with Strika, episode 5, and we'll see you again next week. Peace out.